Hello, everyone. Today we're going on an exciting journey through time to discover the remarkable kingdoms of Eastern and Western Africa. We'll learn about their rich histories, cultures, and the important trade routes that connected them to the rest of the world. Let's start with the Eastern African kingdoms of Aksum and Kilwa. The Kingdom of Aksum was an important trading empire in Eastern Africa that existed from about 100 CE to 940 CE in what is now Ethiopia and nearby areas. Aksum became powerful because ships from Arabia, India, and the Mediterranean would stop at its Red Sea ports to trade. The people of Aksum were known for their farming skills, tall stone monuments called stelae, and for being one of the first African kingdoms to become Christian. Along Africa's eastern coast, the Swahili city-states later developed, with Kilwa becoming especially important from the 1100s to the 1400s. Kilwa was built on an island off the coast of today's Tanzania and became very rich by controlling the gold trade from inland areas. The Swahili culture that grew in these coastal cities mixed African, Arab, and Persian traditions. You can see this blend in their unique language, Swahili, which combines African words with Arabic ones. Islam became an important part of Swahili culture as Arab traders brought their religion to the coast, which you can see in the beautiful mosques they built in their cities. Swahili people built beautiful buildings using coral stone, created their own style of clothing, and cooked foods with spices from many lands. The impressive palaces and mosques in Kilwa show how wealthy and creative these cities were. They even made their own gold coins called Kilwa dinars that traders used all around the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean trade route was an enormous network of sea connections that linked East Africa, the Middle East, India, and Southeast Asia from as early as 300 BCE to the 1700s CE. Unlike land routes, traders traveled by special wooden sailing ships called dhows, which had triangular sails perfect for catching the monsoon winds. These monsoon winds were seasonal winds that blew from the northeast during winter and from the southwest during summer, allowing clever sailors to travel in different directions during different seasons. Traders carried goods like gold and ivory from Africa, spices and cotton textiles from India, porcelain and silk from China, and spices like cloves and nutmeg from Southeast Asian islands. The Indian Ocean trade helped spread Islam throughout the region as Muslim merchants settled in port cities. Unlike trans-Saharan trade, no single empire controlled this vast trading network, making it more open and competitive. Different cultures and languages mixed in these bustling port cities, creating unique coastal cultures with blended traditions, architecture, and foods. This trade network was so successful that some historians call the Indian Ocean the first global economy, connecting people across thousands of miles long before modern transportation. Now let's move to Western Africa and explore the kingdoms of Ghana and Mali. The ancient kingdom of Ghana, not to be confused with the modern country, was a powerful West African empire that flourished from around 400 CE to 1200 CE in what is now parts of Mauritania, Mali, and Senegal. Ghana became wealthy and influential through its control of gold mines and its position as the center of the trans-Saharan trade network, where gold was famously exchanged for salt from North Africa. The empire's king, known as the Ghana or war chief, cleverly maintained wealth by decreeing that all gold nuggets belonged to him while only gold dust could be traded. The capital city of Kumbisala featured two distinct towns, one for the king and traditional followers, and another for Muslim merchants, creating a multicultural hub where different ideas and knowledge flourished. Despite its power, Ghana eventually declined due to drought, changing trade routes, and invasions, but its legacy as one of Africa's first great empires demonstrates the continent's rich history of advanced civilizations and sophisticated trade networks. Mali, on the other hand, is renowned for its legendary ruler, Mansa Musa, who is known as one of the richest men in history. His pilgrimage to Mecca showcased Mali's prosperity and put the kingdom on the map for European and Middle Eastern traders. Along his journey, he gave out gold and spread his religious beliefs of Islam. At the heart of these thriving kingdoms was the trans-Saharan trade route. Trans-Saharan trade was like a giant network of desert highways that connected North Africa with West Africa from around 300 CE to the 1800s. Traders would travel in large groups called caravans, using camels to cross the hot, dry Sahara Desert, which could take up to 3 months. These camel caravans carried gold, salt, slaves, ivory, and other goods across routes that stretched more than 1,500 miles. West African kingdoms like Ghana, Mali, and Songhai became rich and powerful by controlling these trade routes. Gold from West Africa was traded for salt from North Africa, which was just as valuable because people needed it to preserve food and stay healthy in the hot climate. Traders also exchanged cloth, weapons, books, and spices. Cities like Timbuktu grew into important centers of learning and trade, where scholars studied mathematics, astronomy, and literature. Islam spread throughout West Africa through these trade routes as North African Muslim merchants shared their religion with local rulers and communities. Trading centers became culturally diverse places where people exchanged not just goods but also ideas, technologies, and beliefs, helping to connect different parts of Africa and creating lasting cultural connections that we can still see today. In conclusion, these historical kingdoms and their trade routes were instrumental in shaping the cultural and economic landscape of Africa. By understanding these connections, we gain a greater appreciation for the rich tapestry of African history. Thank you for joining us on this journey.